Okay, well, with that, I would like to introduce our speaker for the month, comic artist Danny Ferbert.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't live out in the Northwest like you guys, but I live over in Kansas, Pittsburgh, Kansas. Been out here for a little over a decade now. I originally grew up in Florida, uh, Port St. Lucie, Margate.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I've been a cartoonist now since I published my first comic in like 2006, I think. But I had a web comic before that in high school, around like 2004, and I did that for like a couple of years, and then but yeah, 2006 was when I printed like my first book, and I was like right at the end of high school, and then I've been self-publishing ever since then. Now some of my stuff gets printed by Antarctic Press, but for the most part, I'm still just self-publishing. I got a weekly comic strip, Turtle House Comics, that comes out every Sunday on my website. Um, Also a bunch of other places like Facebook and Instagram and Comics Fury and even Reddit. Um, and my I got an ongoing series in Furrlough over at Antarctic Press. It's going on to its third episode right now. I only have four episodes for the first volume. That one's about it's called the Oddysee of Pal. It's like ancient Greek take. The character is a skunk boy. His dad's Zeus. His mom's a skunk, and he has smelly farts that he uh, goes on adventures with his pig Erie. Um, and then I also do a ongoing series called Dick Blaster with my publisher, guy named Jeffrey Williams. He's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last couple years now. I stay pretty busy. I do most of my drawing at my day job, which I work with I manage a house with a developmentally challenged man, and it's a lot of downtime. So I spend most of it just drawing my comics.
Oh,
I usually pencil and ink on paper, and then I scan and finish in Photoshop.
do you have examples of your work that you can share with
Yeah,
us?
sorry. Yeah, so this was the scripts for um, Turtle House comics. Usually what I go off of. They're just more like prompts. And then this was the scripts for my Oddysee of Pal comics. Um,
Okay.
I'll usually just kind of describe what's going on in the panel, and then if there's any dialogue, what the dialogue is. And then so this is usually what like a scanned in page looks like. It's a 14 by 17 bristle usually. And I'll do four strips at once on it.
Is this pencil? Are these pencils?
Yeah, these are just pencils.
They're very clean.
Oh wait,
They're
are they
very,
pencils?
very nice, clean
Yeah,
pencils.
yeah, those are pencils. These
Yeah.
are, and yeah, this is the inked version, I
Oh,
believe.
yeah.
And then on the back of the page is where I usually do the word balloons and sound effects. And then I'll usually go into Photoshop and mess with the levels. I usually go with 120 by 180. And then I'll go in with the burn tool and just darken it if it needs any darkening on the lines. Then I just work with this usual four panel structure for the webcomic. And it just has like the kind of social media information on it. It's just from what I've seen from like other webcomics on Facebook and stuff like that. That's kind of what I was going off of. They don't usually seem to do more than like 4 panels typically, and it kind of fits really well into most social media frames. And then yeah, just put each panel into each one of the slots on the layout. Then I'll go ahead and put screen tones on it. I just use the I think it's called the lasso tool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or the poly, I think it's the polygon tool, one of those two. And just select whatever area I want, and then I'll fill it in with a bucket, and I'll just choose like a pattern. And it's usually one of these like screen tones over here. Oh. And then lately I've been coloring my stuff too. My webcomic, I started coloring it. And that's just a different layer, and I'll just apply different colors on whatever the object is. But it's just a separate layer from the screen tone. And that's, for the most part, that's as far as like my webcomic goes. It usually just takes me like a day of drawing and then like a day of editing to get like a month's worth of the webcomic together. I was just finishing up a page yesterday, and I just got to finish like a little bit of ink left, and then I can scan it and get to work on the editing. And then what is it? And then the only difference between like what I'm doing with like the webcomic and then like this is a backup I did for at Ninja High School for Ben Dunn, is just the like size of the page basically. I don't have like set layouts usually, so it just depends on like what the script I wrote was. But I don't do the borders. I don't have like a very steady hand, so I used to try to do borders, and they just always look too wonky. So I do those in Photoshop now.
Yeah, I was going to
I-
ask you what program are you using? You're using Photoshop, correct?
Yeah, it's it's a bootleg version of Photoshop. I don't pay for this or anything. I downloaded this a long time ago. I think it's just Photoshop 7 or something like that. Just
Well, I was noticing that I'm following along with this, and it's like a really good, clean, basic process. And because it's basically the same kind of tool, it resembles the same process I have, and I use GIMP, so
Okay,
you're
yeah,
probably coming from the same place.
yeah. I've used GIMP before too. It's more Linux friendly, so that's why I've used it before, because I had friends who tried to get me to do Linux, but it's too much work, so I don't bother with it. But yeah, that's pretty much. I don't really have too much else to say about myself. Yeah, like I said, I've been doing it since like 2006 now. I didn't start getting like published though, like through Antarctic Press until like a couple of years ago. I've had some like times where I've had to go away from drawn. You know, life kind of got in the way of making comics a couple of different times, but it always come back eventually.
I noticed you had a lot more artwork there, and we are a little art greedy here at this particular
Oh,
club, and you wouldn't be willing to share more of that, would you?
yeah, yeah. This is just the first comic I did. Um, it was the second one I had published, but I did like a portfolio for the Joe Kubert School because I didn't know where else. I didn't. That was the only comic school I knew of at the time. Like I didn't know about Saw or anything like that. So I figured I had to like put something together to send to them. I got like a phone interview, and I told them I didn't have any money, and so they rejected me pretty much. But that was my Joe Cooper experience. This was the web comic I was drawing in high school. It was just like a South Park kind of inspired thing. Me and like my friends came up with it in like the fourth grade, and then we came with like an episode list in the sixth grade. And I think in like the 10th grade when I started to finally draw it, and I did all the scripting and drawing myself. My friend Kenzie would just send me the prompts from the episode list that we created in the sixth grade to figure out what the episode was or the webcomic would be about that week. Um, Bang Bang Goes Hunter is was kind of like my first ongoing comic that I did. It had 4 issues, but I've just like finished the drawing the fourth one, but I haven't released it or anything.
And that's a hand-drawn pattern too, isn't it?
What's that?
That pattern, the checkerboard, that's hand-drawn pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or did you do a draw out?
No, I did all that by hand.
Wow.
Yeah, I just did the colors digitally.
A beautiful use of a gradient there. It looks very 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was kind of going especially this probe here. This is from 2001, I think, is where I stole this thing from. The little probe thing that he flies around with the arms. So that's where I was getting that from. But yeah, that's where the I guess the idea comes. But this was like a kind of a like a sci-fi sexploitation type comic. Yeah, I did 4 issues of it, but I only ever like released the first 3. The fourth one, I've been trying to like collect it into like a graphic novel, like a completed thing, but I haven't gotten too far with it. I think I'm about like halfway done with the coloring, but I always get caught up with other stuff. It's not like a priority. It's more like just something I want to see done eventually. Another series I was working on for a while. This one's called like Page Turner. It's like a psychedelic spy, like a psychedelic spy gag comic kind of about a writer who who has like writer's block and takes some enhancements to anyways, he ends up going into his own story and meeting his own characters and becomes a part of the spot. Like the spy has to kind of find him and stuff like that.
I love your layout, man.
Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of like meta and
A lot
of meta.
Where it reads well.
What was that?
Your layout reads really well.
Oh, thank you.
I don't like really cluttery type of. I like the layout and it's tight. And
Yeah,
the is beautiful.
yeah. It's kind of like a basement room kind of. I've always been into like a lot of rooms with these like wood paneling and stuff. And then
one more thing I'd like to mention to you, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
I was a human service worker and I rediscovered my drawing and on the job. So we have something in common.
Yeah, it's it's always the best when you can get away with drawing at work.
Yeah, where else can you get? I mean, I used to be on a camera on my job, right? They used to have us running on a camera, and I'd be drawing right under the camera. They didn't say anything.
That's perfect. Yeah, they that what whenever I've had to like draw at home, it just takes so much longer to get anything done. I think was doing I managed to do I think it's like 12 pages like in like 1 year. That was like the most I was getting done with like a day job. Just because like you go home, you got a bunch of chores you got to do when you get home and stuff like that. So
yeah, but it is where everybody's there sitting there watching the tube, or everybody's sitting there to eat and you're just chilling, or sitting on the back of the building. I don't know how your layout was, but I've done a lot of group homes.
yeah,
a lot of group. I've been in the field 40. I was in the field for 40 years.
4 years.
40.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my last job was so boring that I started drawing because I was just sitting on the floor all day looking at people walk by, and I just bought a little small a notebook with me, and I started drawing, and I got a bigger notebook, and I was drawing, and they didn't say nothing to me. Couldn't be on your phone, but you can draw. Ah!
Exactly. And just look at your phone all day. You're just going to see the same stuff over and over again. Usually, you're just refreshing to see what else, what new comes around. But might as well just do something more productive with that.
So when you're working in your book, what kind of book do you bring? A 8.5 by 11 book? What kind of book do you bring with you when you're working on your job? When you draw?
Yeah, this was I was working with smaller Bristol when I was doing this one. I think it was I think it was not 8.5 by 11. I think it was 11 by 14, something like that. I think
that's pretty big though.
Yeah,
it works, but hey, it works. It works.
Yeah, now I work with 14 by 17, I think.
Yeah, okay. Because that's a lot of drawing there. So you indie ink. What kind of ink? What kind of pens do you use?
I bounce around. I like to try different like new ones and different things. I use this. Hold on, let me switch the camera.
Also, before you don't quit on us with the drawings. I just love your stuff. Show me as much. My eyeballs can take it.
I was going to say, I want to see more pictures.
Yeah, love your work, man. Your work is just beautiful. You could be a professional.
Thank you. Can you see me now? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to show. Yeah, I use this kind of like pencil. I've been using this for a while. It's just a Faber-Castell. It's just a mechanical pencil with a grip on it. I really like these Zig writers. I don't use this too much except for like some blacking. But this one's not a good one. The only problem with them is the tip like gets like jammed in after a while, but they write really smooth.
Bring one up so we can see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good one. Oh, there we go. Can you see it?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
kind of close to it. Yeah, it has this really nice silicone tip. These Zig writers.
Yeah, get out of screen share, and then you can hold it up to the screen, and we see it more closely. Because otherwise, we're just getting the little images down the side.
Oh, okay. How do I get?
That's a technical advisory right there. Okay, Donna.
Oh, okay, stop share. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
So we can see this a little better.
All right. Yeah, there's like the silicone tip. It's really smooth to work with. It's like a 3-pointer on like a micron or something like that. And then I got into using these the Leader Neo Pico liners. They're really nice too. I mostly just use the 8-point because it really good thick
Can you show it to us? I don't even know what you're talking
outside line.
about. Headline? Okay.
And then like I'll bounce around with other things. I was trying out these artist loft ones just to see if they were any good or not. They were all right. They kind of dried out and they bled a little bit. But I also like the Prisma color, or not the like the color markers, but they make a pen as well. That's pretty. They work pretty nice as well. And then yeah, just regular white erasers. I've been meaning to move to kneaded erasers because I've heard they're a little they don't remove as much as the ink on the paper, because I've been having a problem with like my lines looking like Swiss cheese after I do the erasing. Lots of the ink gets pulled up. I don't know if you guys have any experience with like kneaded erasers or not, if those are better for that or not. That's what I've heard. So I've been wanting to move over to that.
Yeah,
They are gentler. They are a little gentler.
Okay.
You still don't want to rub them too hard.
So are you writing another story right now? Or you have another story you're working on, you said, right?
Oh, what am I working on right now?
Yes, sir. You can just hold it up to the screen. You don't have to put the screen up if you have it.
Yeah, if you can screen share of anything you're doing that's new, that would be wonderful.
Well, what I'm working on right now is just on paper. I haven't scanned it in yet because I still got like these 2 panels to ink.
You got to put it straight onto the camera. The camera can't see it. Okay, hold up a little higher. You're a little low.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cleanest pencils.
Yeah, I just have these 2 pencils I need to ink, but I was just inking it yesterday. It only takes me usually like a day. And then on the back I have the dialogues and just sound effects and stuff like that. I still got to ink this side too, but I'll be done with that. I should be done with that by tomorrow.
I love your process. It's you're very organized.
I'm sorry?
Very organized.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You have where are you at? You're in Kansas, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh, Kansas. It's about like 45 minutes from Joplin, Missouri.
Okay. Quiet, small town?
Was that?
Quiet in a small town, right? Quiet, small town?
Yeah. I live in like a little college town, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of ghost towns around here, though, where there's only like 10 people that live there or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So that means, you know, I'm Seattle's going through a housing crisis. You know, you have to, the rents are so ridiculously high now. I'm saying to myself, I should move to Kansas.
Yeah, there's like places out here where you can get like a plot of land for like next to nothing, but there's, that's because there's nothing there.
Time to invest in solar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wind turbines out here.
Don't put any wind turbines because the president will get upset. Killing the birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, just put the panels on top of your house. You won't have to be connected to anything else. You can buy wherever you want.
Yeah.
And Kansas has got a lot of sun, and of course batteries backs that up. Oh well, we'll go into solar discussion here real quick. But at least we know where the cheap land is.
Yeah. Yeah, here in New Mexico.
I think there are countries like that. I think you can find land all over the place. But when you're in a couple of these megalopolises like Seattle or New York or Boston, you're going to pay big money.
Yep. Premium for those city plots.
Yeah.
Yeah, city plots. Yeah. So anyway, tell me. So you say you work on your ideas. You look like you storyboard them out, right?
I'm sorry. Do I what?
I mean, I'm sorry about this microphone. You storyboard them.
Not too much. I used to when I would script, I would write. I would do kind of small layout in like the margins next to the script, but I don't do it too much anymore. I just do it up in my head now. just kind of figure out where I want the panels, how big I want them, and everything like that, and then just go from there. Yeah, I don't do too much storyboarding anymore. I used to, but it's just a bunch of extra time that I'm putting into it. And
You say you're on Instagram, right?
yep, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky.
Hold on, I don't quite have your name right yet here, but I'll have to look it up.
Danny, if you got any links, just type them in the chat.
Oh, sure.
And also, if anybody needs to share any emails, they go in the chat. I'm just doing housekeeping. Okay. Not everybody can find things.
That's my Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, Burton, cartoonist. Very nice. Yeah.
That's my website. I've been working on that's been my website since I think 2009, I think, something like that. It's just a WordPress site, but I've started doing more over there, trying to move away from social media, except for just like promotion for the most part. So I started doing interviews over on my website. Donna did one with me recently, and I've started including reviews on like comics I'm reading, just adding more content to the website for try to get more people to go over there so they'll see my webcomics. And then the Oddysee of Pal. This is the series I've been working on the most. This is when I draw and write myself. That's Pal, the little piglet. That's Erie. This is Atlantis, and those are Atlanteans. They're aliens. Just playing on like different like myths and history with from ancient Greece. The first volumes mostly just like a retreading of the Odyssey, with just some funny stuff added to it. This with this one I do like a border. I made this it's like based on like the like ancient Greek pottery designs that they would use, just to like create this border. Gives it more of a, I don't know, ancient Greek feel or something. But it's just like an adventure gag comic that I've been working on. I've got the second volume mostly written as well. I started drawing like a few of the pages. I just haven't found the time. I still got to do the dialogue for the last episode. I'm just doing four episode volume, 4 episodes per volume, and I've got I think 12 volumes planned out so far. I think I'm just going to stop at 12 though. But it'll be like 3 different sagas, 3 volumes per saga, something like that. That'd be 9 though, I guess. I don't know. And then the other one I've been working on is this one has a writer for it. His name is Jeffrey Williams. Oh, that's a TIFF. But it's a series called Dick Blaster. It's like a post-apocalyptic comedy. Each issue's been like a different theme, kind of. The third one was like an action movie, kind of was the idea. So just made like an action movie poster. And then like the one before that was King Arthur, like yeah. Yeah, it's like more of a King Arthur theme. And they're usually he pays me to do those ones.
Can you do me a favor? You're doing what a lot of artists do. You just show your thing for a second and just go on because you said I'm not used to looking at it. I really like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're like me. I do the same thing. I just show hey, this is my picture. Okay, let me show you my other one.
Oh yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, really. 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was just this one was the idea was like stained glass was what I was trying to go with.
I love the use of your text. You got a really good sense of text, man. Jesus.
Thank you.
It reads well. I mean, I'm gonna cast some dispersions on fanzines. The clutter makes me crazy. I can't read the stuff. I can't stand even looking at it. It's just too clever. It just my eyes can't take it.
Yeah, I try to do usually like just like 3 colors per, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I try to like do control colors, make it so like, yeah, there's not too many colors clashing with each other.
I love using the tone too. It's like zipper tone. We used to call it zipper tone. What's it called now?
Screen tones is what I've been. I know. Yeah, I know they used to be called zipper tone.
When I was back in the 70s, I played with that a lot.
Yeah, I think. Because of manga, because that's what they call them over there, is like screen tones.
Right. So you're using what do you use software with?
They didn't what?
What software are you using for this? You say?
Just Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah, so like what I'll do is let me pull up. What's going on here? So for I'll just take this page. It's just like a layer on top of the initial drawing. I think that's it. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll take the polygon tool and I'll select whatever the layer is I'm trying to create. And then I'll go to my photo bucket, or not photo bucket, just the bucket, and then select pattern. And I get I did get them from DeviantArt. just like type in screen tones in like a search or something like that, and they'll usually have packets that you can download that people create that uh, once you install it into your Photoshop, you can use it as a pattern, and then you can just fill in the area. Oh. If you just create like a new layer, and then you can just fill it in with the screen tone. I used to like I've practiced using like actual screen tones, but we when I was in like high school or something like that, my friend showed me because she was making a comic herself, and she just went ahead and scanned in screen tones and created her own patterns. So I just started doing that since then. That was like that's when I was in high school, and I think that's what a lot of comic book artists do now is they just do them in Photoshop. Just because it's hard to find the screen tones anymore. You usually just have to like order them from Japan or find like a specialty hobby shop near you that might have them. But like where I live, there's nothing like that out here, so I have to rely on the internet to help me out with that stuff.
I think the Clip Studio has screen tones built into it.
Sorry, what was that?
Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint has.
Clip Studio Paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used it when it was. I think it used to have like a different name at one point, and I think I. Yeah. I think I used it when it was that, but I haven't used it in a while. I know it's like a cheaper option than Photoshop. I'm so used to using Photoshop. I don't want to take the time to learn anything else at the moment. But I'm sure I'm going to have to do that eventually. But I don't know which one I'll move on to yet.
And the year 3535.
Yeah.
Your computer is still alive.
If any of us are. And here was like that page that we were just looking at completed. I added these like scrolls because the writer doesn't do a lot of dialogue usually. He does a lot more like narration.
You know, your color and layout on this reminds me of Prince Valiant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, it's got the same feel of color, not necessarily, the same subjects. It just, looking at it, if you just looked at the two pages together, it kind of has the same feel.
It has a sense of the value. It has to me, when I see it, it's like it has that value of the print medium of the newspapers, how they had that kind of washed out color kind of thing. Remember those?
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, it's got it's got a classic look.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I was trying to. It's supposed to be like more Arthenian, so I was trying to capture more of like that classic look to it. Thank you. But that came across.
Yeah, it works. It works. You are an inspiration.
I'm sorry?
You are an inspiration. I love your stuff.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been working at it for a while now. And then, yeah, I've also been doing a lot of my comic strip. Initially, it started off more of like a travel blog type thing, which is like me and my dog, like and my partner. We were living in a a camper for a while, just like saving money. Um, and we'd go to like conventions, to sell comics and stuff like that. And it became more about just like the locate, like where we were traveling to, and like the adventure of traveling. Because the conventions usually like if you're traveling too far for a convention, it's probably not gonna pay off very well, in my experience. Um, so we'd go like we went to St. Padre or South Padre Island was one of the places that we went down to. Um, and then like just like cruising down Route 66 because we're like right on. We were living like right on Route 66 at the time, pretty much. So a lot of the places to that we would go to were just like right on the road, like driving down to like the Catoosa whale, the blue whale, or at
You've got
Galloway's.
so much work there. The picture, you look like you have those use photographs too, right?
What's that?
You use photographs also, right?
No, I mostly just go by memory. Sometimes like I'll Google like a location that we went to just to like get an idea, or I might use like a photograph that my partner took. But mostly I'm just going off of my own memory of what things look like.
Duck
Um,
banner, the duck banner and the ellipse JPEG.
what?
Duck banner, one of your files at the top. It's got a woman next to it, standing there with a thing on it. I can't see it now because it's you moved up or down.
Oh, sorry.
You got a, I don't know. You got two looking. It's got THC.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
that just as the initials, Turtle House Comics. And
Yeah, I
then
see the graphics on that.
yeah, like this was from our trip to like Yellowstone. This is
I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
that's the Devil's Tower right there.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And this was actually we did like you don't have to get too close to see it. We were like up the road kind of. We just stopped to like take a picture, and then this trailer just pulled up behind us, and these people got out and just got on back of horses and just drove, just went off into the woods. And they offered to take our picture before they rode off. And yeah, it was basically the scene. It was we'd get a lot of stuff like that when we'd go on our road trips and stuff. Just and that's usually what I was trying to capture was little moments like that.
Well, don't be afraid to open these up to share with us because
Yeah,
these are beautiful. These are beautiful.
this was
Yes, you are. I agree 100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
this was a Christmas card I did a couple of years ago. Um, this was basically this was the camper that we were living in for a little while. It was like the size of like Japanese studio apartment or something. There was just like a bathroom, a bed, and a little kitchen area.
You know, you're kind of living the dream, cartoonist in a camper going from show to show. It's kind of like the back of our heads with everybody. It's like, if I could do that.
Yeah, I did it for we did it for a couple of years pretty much, and then I had enough saved up and I bought a house. The place I'm living in now is the house that we bought. Uh,
Very cool.
it all ended up working out. This was from the eclipse a couple of years ago. Just added some word balloons. But and then yeah, I try to do like whatever the little like road trip is that we were going on. I would do like a different cover for. So just like going down Route 66. Yeah, there's a bunch of because that movie Cars was so popular. You can you'll see just a lot of those like old like cranes and stuff. The character Tow Mater was inspired by a truck up the road from here, and so you'll find like just a bunch of cars with eyeballs all over the place.
I think the reason your stuff looks so classic is it really does look like maybe those colors were hand cut. They're so clear and plain.
Yeah, I like to
Old Ruby Lift days.
yeah, I try to use like a well, I try to go with like a limited palette, but also the colors typically are softer. I'll use oh, where am I? Oh, here we go. This image I like. This is by Brandon Graham.
Uh-huh.
It's Neuromancer, the book Neuromancer. He did just this from like a scene in Neuromancer. He did a big illustration of, but it has a lot of these like color combinations that I like, and I'll just come in here basically and steal like color ideas for what I'm doing.
Your colors are like they're creamy.
Yeah, the pastels.
Yeah. You just got that feel to them. Well, it's like you see a lot of cars now. They've got that pottery color that they're doing, and
Yeah,
it's got that creamy feel to it.
yeah, yeah. Just like softer like colors usually. They're not super saturated.
Mm-hmm. They've got white in them, but it's like the white is more part of the color and not just watering it down.
Right. Yeah, like these colors here, like they're more like pinkish and not so much like a super bright red or anything like that. Or like these soft blues.
Mm-hmm. And you can use more colors that way because you're not going to get flashes of hard colors. You've got, you're all at the same level of value.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to work with like a lot of times with colors that like contrast with each other so they're
Mm-hmm.
they're not always like blending together. Like this pink's pretty close to this one, but like the ball is like blue. Lots of browns.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of yeah, I try to go with earth tones when I
Yeah, they're kind
can.
of like desert colors.
Yeah.
Those pink sand. Well, we drove through Kansas, and that kind of looks like some of the colors as you drive through the state.
Yeah, I
Colors
a lot of the
sky
yeah, a lot of the sunsets out here and sunrises. I just like going back and forth from work and stuff like that. I catch, but a lot of it's from Florida too.
Mhm.
Like especially down in Miami, they use a lot of those pastel colors and stuff like that. And wherever you're on like around the ocean, they use those softer colors too.
I want to thank you for your talk. I've got to go because my husband's coming back from London, but thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you for joining us.
Technically, we are at the quote on the limit of the talk now, which is close on to 6:30. But whether somebody wants to continue to talk or wants to stay, that's up to everybody.
I want to say to you, you are just a marvelous artist. Marvelous. I love your work, man.
It's a
I love your
revelation.
work.
Can I
Yeah,
admit
he's really
something
fun.
here? We had a last minute loss of a speaker, and Danny came and interviewed me. And of course, I had to go see what he did. And I thought, ooh, since I did an interview for him, maybe I can get him to be a speaker. And little trade-off there.
little bit
Opportunist.
yeah.
But I did not know how absolutely marvelous your background of art sharing is that you've got for us here. So happy accident.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a public speaker or anything like that. I'm very introverted usually. It's taken me a long time to get used to doing convention shows and stuff like that, just because I'm not much of a salesman. I don't want to try to talk to people most of the time.
You've
So,
done a very good job here. Really enjoyed it.
so it's a bit outside my usual bubble, but I appreciate you guys having me and I'm glad you liked my work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going
We
to say
do.
happy Easter.
Very much so.
Happy Easter. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Very good.
And thank you for having your files so beautifully organized so we can just, flip into them really quickly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was trying to because you guys told me I should make a folder to like put everything in. So I was trying to like collect as much as I could. I even took like screenshots of like my website and of uh, the first website I ever made, which was where I was hosting the my first webcomic at. Um,
I think you are our best prepared speaker.
Yeah, I had
We
to
got
go.
a couple others that had an awful lot of things they prepared very well, but this is a very good presentation.
Yeah, I had to go to the Wayback Time Machine to pull this one out. Uh, but it was just to show like where I started, kind of, and then like where I ended up. I also do the mini comics co-op. That's another thing I do. It's other artists will send me copies of their mini comics, usually like 5 to 10 copies, and then I'll send them back like just as many copies of different artists that I've sent into the mini comics co-op. I've been doing that since I think like 2010.
Okay.
And that's always a fun program. I enjoy getting different comics from cartoonists from all over the world that'll come in.
Woo. That's a suggestion. Well, I do want to say thank you very much, Donnie. You have, or Danny, you have really done a beautiful job, and I think everybody appreciates it. And it was beautifully organized. And don't put yourself down as a public speaker. You did a very nice job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.